Sachin Shah of NK is here with us to talk about his strategy. Sachin, first let's understand from you what has your portfolio been looking like. Which are the areas which are doing well in your portfolio, bets which you got right in the last, say, 2020?
Yeah, Ajay, thank you for having me. Actually, 2020 has been, if you think about it, one hell of a ride, right? What we were in March and what we are today. But strictly speaking, actually, calendar year 2020 has been like almost like a change of trends. If you see calendar year 18 and calendar year 19, the large caps did well, and that too within large caps it was only a handful of few selected stocks, and the mid caps and the small caps were actually quite down, quite significantly down. Whereas calendar year 2020, what we have seen is that the small caps have outperformed the mid caps, and the mid caps have outperformed the large caps, and with a decent margin. Like small caps are up about 30% plus, mid caps are up about 20% plus, large caps are up about 15% plus. So that has been one big change of trend. The other thing is that we've seen among the sectoral changes also. Like calendar 18 and 19, we saw banking as a sector doing very well. We saw real estate as a sector doing quite well. Whereas calendar year 20, we've seen pharma and IT, which has done extremely well. Like they are up, both the sectors are up almost 60%. Coming to our own portfolio, it has been very, very good year for us, and we keep our fingers crossed. So, like our NK Emerging Stars Fund for the calendar year, so we delivered almost 30% kind of outperformance. And the most important thing is that the sectors, which is the CRAM space, the contract research and the manufacturing space, both in the pharma and the pharma API/specialty chemicals, that sector has actually done very, very well for us, and we've had a fairly good allocation over there, almost in the range of 25% plus or up to 30%, including some of the healthcare sector. So that has actually helped us quite a bit. Over and above that, some of the technology names have also done very well for us. So this has really made 2020 a good ending for us, I would say.
Right. Sachin, how are you analyzing the broader market right now? Which are the areas which you are researching to be added as flows continue in your schemes?
Yeah, Ajay, so we continue to believe that the CRAM space, which is the CRAM/pharma/the specialty chemical space, we believe that the business momentum over there is still going to be very strong for at least next couple of years. The opportunities as far as the China Plus One strategy that we talk about, and that's a potential for many sectors, but I believe that this is one sector where it's already culminating. The businesses are already getting orders, inquiries from a lot of the new customers who are already sourcing a lot from China, and they are looking at alternate sources. Now, this is one sector which has already established its credibility because they have been with these customers or with these global partners, and they have the wherewithal to get the scalability. So, they have already done the legwork. It's now just about scaling up the business, and which should happen. So that's clearly one of the sectors that we continue to believe will do well. I think hospitals as a sector also should do much better as things have now opened up. So that's another sector that we are quite optimistic about. And we also believe that autos and auto ancillaries should also actually do much better, because again we are seeing that the export oriented opportunities will come up significantly, and even the domestic market, I think after almost 3 years we had seen the domestic volumes nearly stagnating, particularly in the passenger vehicles, and of course commercial vehicles were significantly down. We are seeing decent amount of momentum coming back in the auto space. So obviously autos and auto ancillaries both should do well over the next 2 to 3 years, is what our belief is, and we have been investing in some of those businesses.
Sachin, you must have analyzed the numbers, the earnings outlook for your companies for the next 2 years. Not exactly 1 year, but 2 years. How does the earnings, 2 year forward earnings picture looking like for your portfolio? I'm assuming it would be a mix of mid cap, small cap, large caps. Aggregate, are you seeing visibility of 20% earnings growth?
Ajay, I would like to believe yes. If I take up to FY23, so, and if I take a base of say, even if FY19 closing or FY20 closing, so FY20 closing to FY23, so on that 3-year basis, my sense is that at a portfolio level or even at most of the good corporates should actually deliver about in the range of 15 to 20% kind of compounded earnings growth. And the reason why we believe that is, actually if you think about it, COVID has played a role of a catalyst. Because what we have seen is that the cost efficiencies that the companies have gotten, the kind of the cost structures that have been actually kind of eliminated to some extent or have been rationalized to a large extent, will actually has actually played a role of catalyst because that is really improving the margins and the profitability of a lot of these companies. So a slight uptake or a tailwind for which the green shoots are already visible in the economy. If the aggregate demand actually goes up, I think the kind of the operating leverage that we will see in some of these companies is going to be quite significant, and that should really drive the earnings growth over a period of next 2 years. So we are quite optimistic that the earnings growth that we all have been waiting for almost last 5 years, it has a very high probability that it will now play out in the next 2 to 3 years.
Right. And how much of this is actually factored in the stock prices, be it market at large, Sachin, or maybe your own portfolio?
Well, if you think about it, maybe up to FY22 first half, probably a large part of it is already getting built in. But if I go back to the years of 2003, 2004, which is when the earnings cycle had actually picked up quite significantly after 3 or 4 bad years from 99 to 2000, 2002, 2003, and then the earnings story which started from 2003, almost 2002 and early beginning 2003 to almost 2008, then we have seen more often than not in many companies actually that the earnings really surprise you big time on the upside because of 2 reasons. That once you get into the positive cycle, you are actually into that virtuous cycle of the demand. One leads to another positivity. So the demand can actually overshoot beyond most of the people's imaginations. That's point number 1. And second, as I said, the kind of the cost efficiencies that the companies have actually played out, that will get humongous amount of operating leverage. Point number 3 is, we are seeing a lot of positive actions from the government side to actually capitalize on this opportunity which the world markets are offering us. Like for example, a PLI scheme. When we talk to most of the industrialists, they all are very, very upbeat about it. They strongly believe that this is the need of the hour, and if that actually kicks in, I think over a period of next 2-3 years, that those numbers are not factored in at all. I mean, nobody has the imagination, the kind of the business that can actually come to India. Just to give you one small example, like for example, the CRAMS business. China has about 30% global market share, and India has about 10%. Now, even half of China moves here, it's a 100% growth for India, right? So those kind of opportunities are so humongous that we can all be positively surprised the way once we get into the virtuous cycle, and we are already seeing some of those green shoots that we are getting into that virtuous cycle. It's just a matter of maybe 2 or 3 quarters, and the confidence level will come back, the animal spirits will come back, and most of these business houses will start investing in a big way.
Right. All right, Sachin, we'll let you go on that one. Thanks so much for joining us with your thoughts on the way you are approaching and analyzing the markets. Time for a short break. On the other side of the break, more news and stock-specific analysis. Don't go anywhere.